Adam, it's good to go live.
Fantastic.
How are you doing, man? Nice to see you again. Thank you for joining us again on the double shot. Yeah, it's always good to chat to you. And obviously today, big conversation we're excited to talk to you about is your early access with Instagram Reels, man. How is it as exciting as everyone's making it out to be?
I mean, it's a difficult one. Let's be honest. It's let's address the elephant in the room, if you like. It's a complete clone of TikTok. So, on the Instagram app. We've had some fun playing around with it, and I think, as sort of like social media marketeers, with any new feature or any new platform or any new update release, we're always sort of all over it. So we've had a play around with it, and it's very, very similar. Like you said, we had early access to sort of populate the app with content before it went live. So what Instagram do there is they choose sort of like a load of partners, and they'll say, we'll give you early access to play around with the app, the new feature, and start populating the app with content, but only you can see it. And so that when they pull the trigger on it going live, you've already got a load of content within the Reels explore page. So it's exactly the same. You've got the same features. You've got your speed, your effects, your timer. You've got music. So and a lot of the effects are very similar to TikTok. You've got like the green screen effects and all that sort of stuff. So it's a funny one. But Instagram have done this before, haven't they? With they've done it with Snapchat, where they released Instagram stories. That was a success. They've done IGTV, which some people say it was kind of a rival to YouTube. Definitely didn't get anywhere near rivaling YouTube, but I think still has success. We see success through IGTV, but we've had a play around, and it's fun. But is it going to be able to replicate, I don't know, the culture that TikTok has? I don't know. But there's a lot of things to talk about, isn't there? Look at politically where TikTok is.
It's funny. It's funny you say politically. I've got on my questions there. I've got actually one of the questions is politics, but I mean, I think so. Look, there's a lot to unpack there. Obviously, just in terms of what you brought up briefly, but starting at the beginning. So that tells us a lot immediately straight off the bat, is that it's very similar. It's basically a rip-off. We knew that, and as you say, that Facebook's done it before, and it's not like they won't do it again. And we had this interesting conversation that Zuckerberg was having last week in front of Congress, saying, "Hey, why do you rip everybody off?" It's I suppose it's the nature of the beast. It's what we do. But so there's no new functionality that you think we should know about straight off the bat that people should keep an eye on? Pretty much.
It's pretty much like for like, yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, we've had a good play around with it. I think that they're already set up with the music library, which is great. So they've hit the ground running with that. But one thing that we was looking at before was it almost looked like you didn't really have the chance to go viral via Reels like you do on TikTok. So as you know, on TikTok, it doesn't matter if you've got 5 followers or 5,000 or 5 million followers. You've always got that chance to go viral. Right. So we didn't think you had that on Reels, but I've noticed this morning that actually you've got a almost like a featured. So if you start scrolling, once you go into Reels on the Explore page and you're in the feed, similar to TikTok, you can just scroll through the videos. Well, before it was just people you followed, but now they've got featured. So it might be one that's getting really good engagement and looks like it's really popular, and it gives you the opportunity to then follow that person. So it kind of looks like they're addressing the issues as they go daily.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's sort of an aggregator, like a Reddit kind of popularity rises, and as you say, it's a person with 300 followers can get a bit of traction and get some attention.
Exactly, yeah, because that was one of the worries that people sort of were saying prior to its launch was how are you going to be able to go viral via Reels? Because Instagram, it's already well established, isn't it? It's not easy to go viral on Instagram. You have to build a following over time. TikTok, you can get that viral aspect overnight, like the good old days.
Yeah, you kind of struck lightning.
Yeah.
So that's obviously I think that's really important, because I think, you know, obviously one of the big things we know about TikTok is in the general social media world, the digital marketing world, is TikTok's kind of the place where these up and comers or nobodies, kind of like the days of Vine, these nobodies all of a sudden had 10 million followers, 17-year-olds with 10 million followers. So and Instagram is very, as you say, is very much pegged to the amount of followers you currently have. You put a few hashtags and maybe you get a bit of attention, but for the most part it's your 500, 1,000, 2,000 followers who are going to get to see your stuff. So that's, I suppose, is pretty promising from a brand perspective, because it means that good content, I'm assuming that the idea with content, your advice in terms of content would be, just as Facebook is sort of ripped off TikTok, is content-wise, we're going to see, do you reckon we'll see the same kind of content that we see on TikTok?
Yeah, I think you will. And I think you see a lot of people that would just post content onto Reels that doesn't really fit with it. So the whole reason TikTok worked was because it gave you a number of creative tools that were really like simplified and easy to use. So if you think about Instagram, you've got your Instagram feed, you've got your videos, you've got your photos within the feed, and then stories allowed you to be that little bit more creative, but it wasn't nowhere near what TikTok allows you to do. So now they're doing that. I think you will see a lot of people being a lot more creative now. They've got the tools to do it. But yeah, it's who knows. My advice would be just to get on there and try it, because I think, yes, it might fail. It might fail fast. Who knows? But like anything that comes out that's new, Instagram will be pushing it through the algorithms. So they're going to want this to succeed. Even at the point where it might not be, they're still going to be pushing those reels in front of people. So my advice would be just get on there and start creating content that fits with the all the mechanisms that it provides.
Brilliant. Who and when? So as I've understood from the reading, it's being rolled out pretty much throughout the world at the moment. It's available immediately.
Yes. So I've not actually had actually had the update yet to access it through my account.
Right.
But the pages that we run and the communities that we run, we've got access on all of those. So I'm not sure at what point sort of your average Joe like me can get on there. I've seen some people have got it and some people haven't. So I'm like, maybe it's a software thing. I don't know. But
they're probably staggering the rollout so that their servers don't crash.
Yeah, so it's not a mass crash. But I think over the next few days or week, everyone should have it. Yeah.
And we've got to bear in mind there's hundreds of millions of Instagram users who are probably going to want to check it out. Beautiful. Just quickly, in terms of, we'll talk quickly about some strategy ideas. Maybe you've got some ideas that you can share, but if you don't, that's also coming. I know it's very early days. Just in terms of the politics side of things, obviously Microsoft, TikTok's got a lot of problems going on at the moment. You know, call it what you want to call it. They've got problems. You know, Trump's after them. America's ready to ban them. You're seeing, I think, what's really seeing from a grassroots perspective, you're seeing a lot of TikTok, big people on TikTok and small people on TikTok who are putting in their posts, hey, please follow me on this alternative platform just in case TikTok disappears. What is your take on that? What do you think is going to happen? I mean, I know it's hard to say, but I mean,
it is hard to say. I think looking at the ban of it, I think that would obviously play into Instagram's hands massively, because all of those users, they probably would be able to continue creating the type of content they've been creating on TikTok via Reels. So I just think you'll see, a few 100 million users just migrate straight into Reels and start creating that type of content there. Where does it leave TikTok? I think TikTok is that big that I can't see it going away or disappearing. And I think the problem that Instagram might have is capturing that really young audience. So you've got a really young audience on TikTok. And although that has sort of spread out now to people sort of my age and above, ultimately those people are really going to want to go on Instagram and post on Instagram, because there's a reason they're not really active on there now. It's because TikTok's where they want to be. You know, the mom and dads are on Instagram, so they tend to to swerve
it's funny, we used to say the same thing about Facebook.
Yeah.
When Instagram came out, it's like, oh, that's for the boomers. Let's move on to Instagram.
That's it. Well, the nan and granddads are on Facebook now.
Yeah. Granddads and family meetups. Yeah, no, I feel you. So, I mean, the obvious move is straight away to Reels, which I think that as you say, would be. It's a pretty intuitive guess, I think. You know, obvious move would be to Reels, but is Reels the right audience, and are people going to? They obviously won't necessarily just migrate their following immediately across. Look, I think, you know, for me, the Instagram Reels and TikTok question, actually a lot of it boils down to our behavior and our understanding of culture. And when I say we, I mean our age groups, because, you know, you just don't see the boomers and the generation, the baby boom generation holding phones up to themselves and making goofy videos and just documenting every single second of their life, which is what I think a lot of these TikTokers and these youngsters are doing. So I agree. I think it would be an interesting one to see. Does that translate straight over to Instagram, or does it build a whole new audience for Instagram? Maybe you're going to see a whole bunch of people adopting Reels and having zero to do with actual Instagram or IGTV or Instagram stories. Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one.
I think you might get that. I think you might get people being more creative who are already on the app. But from my personal point of view, I like TikTok, and I like going into TikTok as a separate app. I kind of use Instagram differently. Instagram is kind of almost like a vloggy type feel for me. You can sort of do some documentation of your life through stories, and you obviously post some nice things on your feed. But on TikTok, that's where you kind of get a bit silly and creative, and it's a completely different experience because it's just so fun and vibrant, and I think it's a different culture altogether. So who knows? Let's see how it plays out. But I feel it's a bit of a crappy move, isn't it, by Mark Zuckerberg? But he's got history, hasn't he? he's got form for this type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what the truth is? I mean, having come from a tech background in terms of gadgetry and cars, man, he's a small fish in the big pond when it comes to ripping people off, and it's been done for hundreds of years, kind of thing. So it's survival. And it's funny, he'll probably just wear the lawsuits or whatever inevitable problems come with it. Like, that's what they do. They've got the money to just wear it on the chin.
That's it. They released an app a couple of years ago called Lasso, I think, which was pretty much
Lasso.
Pretty much a rip off of TikTok at that point, I think. But that didn't. I don't think that worked out. But it was a test for them, and I think that's helped them probably do what they're doing on Reels now.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was all strategy.
Yeah, probably was.
Actually launched the thing. Yeah. Advice for right now, leaving this conversation, if anybody catches this in the group, and advice that you might give any social media marketers, digital marketers, what can they do right now? What would your advice immediately be? Should they start conversations with their clients? Should they test it out themselves first? If they do, I
think so, yeah. I think first and foremost, get on there and start checking it out and seeing what you can create. We always take things like this forward to our clients because, one, like I explained earlier, you've got that chance to go viral because the platform are pushing it. It's a new feature. They want it to work, and they want people to be successful on there. So get on there and start using it. Two, go to your clients and offer it as a service. We always do that because it kind of makes us look like, we're thought leaders. We've seen it. We want to get you on there and we want you to try it out. And who doesn't want to be first to that? So that would be my two things to take away from this, is just to get on there and start creating content and learn about it. Like I said, a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, people might go, nah, it's not going to work. But it could be another Instagram stories that, let's be honest, that was a hugely successful move, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Buy cheap, sell high.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Anything else you want to add, bro?
Not really. I did make a few notes, but I think we're pretty much there. I think it's early days. Let's see what happens. But just get on there.
Beautiful. Well, if it does fail, we'll have you on again in a couple of weeks and call you out on it and say,
yeah.
I'm just playing. Brilliant, man. Well, listen, thanks as always for taking the time. Really appreciate it. And yeah, man, we'll see you around.
No problem. Good to catch up. Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Really appreciate the input, bro.